Hello everybody, I'm Goodluck of Goodluck Gaming. Today I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to show you all the new free features coming alongside the Age of Wonders 4 Giant Kings expansion. The first thing about the patch that anybody can enjoy are more Pantheon unlocks. These will include the new Cavern Bear mount, the new Gold Seeker pickaxe, the new Giant Slayer's spear, the Titan's Great Bow, the Shatter Blades, and the Letherite Orb. Most important of any of these though is the new society trait, Subterranean Societies. Whenever you excavate a province underground, you get a massive chance at getting 2 resource nodes instead of just 1. Now if you like playing underground, the free update includes a large rework to the underground's generation, allowing you to get much larger and more habitable cities. Both your starting cavern and any areas you expand to will spawn with far larger caverns. 2 new biomes have also been added to the underground, the Ice Layer and the Lava Caves. You can now settle on lava, which unlocks a new building chain, although it will give you a large stability hit if you don't have the right traits. Now if you hate playing underground so much that you even hate it when other people play underground, the Surface Start trait has been added to Realm Creation. The Unearth trait has also been added. To accommodate all these new traits, the amount of miscellaneous traits you can now put into a realm has been increased from 4 to 8. Through the new Realm Content tab in Advanced Setup, you can now choose which forms will appear on your map, giving you a lot more control over what kind of enemies you like seeing on which kind of map. Additionally, you can choose which cultures appear, and lastly, you're allowed to choose which kind of ruler origins spawn. Going along with all this customization, many more customizations have been added for the form of your faction. Body shape customization has been added, where you can be average, short and muscular, short and, well, not muscular, tall and muscular, and tall and not muscular. You can do this to any of the different forms. You can also now customize the hand size of your forms, and just in case going with one of the different body shapes made your form look ridiculous, you can now customize the head size of your character. And you can use these options on anything, allowing you to create just the greatest characters. Your race and your ruler can have completely different customizations, allowing you to create this. On the default horse mount, you can now choose through a variety of different skins, allowing you to go with many different options for your horsies. The observant among us probably saw a new cavalry unit in the back. That comes from the giant Feudal rework. Feudal has been split into 2 different subcultures, monarchy and aristocracy. They are very much now a culture about promoting units to a higher tier. Feudal monarchy can promote the archer into the longbow, a new unit which has a very deadly long-ranged attack. For feudal aristocracy, they can promote the defender, which has been reworked from a tier 2 unit into a tier 1 unit, into the immensely powerful tier 3 liege guard, who gets the ability to link to any hero unit to take their damage. Both sides can build the archer and defender, but they can only upgrade their specific unit. Both of them can also build the aspirant knight. This is a new tier 2 cavalry unit that will promote into the tier 4 knight. Although he's not buildable in your cities, he is a first tier 4 cultural unit, and he has very powerful stats. The aristocracy subculture is based around the liege system. A hero who is assigned the governor of a city becomes the liege lord of that city. Any unit produced at the city becomes a member of the liege's house. If the liege lord and members of his house fight alongside each other, they get 10 hit points and 5 extra morale per renown level. If they're in the liege lord's army at the end of the turn, they get negative 10% unit upkeep and 5 extra world map healing per turn. Of course, this effect also scales with your level of renown. The monarchy subfaction is much less complicated, which some people might prefer, although no less powerful. With feudal monarchy, any army in your own domain or fighting alongside your ruler gets a defense, a resistance, 10% damage, and 10 morale. And this applies to everything, allowing you to use this in any build. The developers have rebalanced a lot of tomes to accommodate battle mages, as well as meticulously going through every single battle mage and giving them a new effect at champion rank. Each different battle mage gets a different effect at champion rank, tailor-made for that one. Every single battle mage. Speaking on tomes now, several of the weaker or underperforming tomes have received some buffs or reworks. Tome Terramancy, for example, has gotten a complete overhaul. 12 tomes in total have received some sort of change, but the most interesting to me, and probably you guys, is the change to Shaper's Touch out of the tier 5 Tome of the Creator. Shaper's Touch now gives natural regeneration, hit points, and lightning resist to elementals and constructs, which have now been added to it. Some unit traits have seen some slight reworks, discouraging spirit and lightning damage and encouraging people to be able to use blight damage in the late game. Sieges have seen a very large rework. Into the late game, players could expect sieges to take an unreasonably long time, dramatically reducing the pace of the game to a crawl. Through a series of changes, you should now expect late game cities to have significantly less fortification health, but in return be significantly more defendable. This was achieved through removing the bonus fortification health from almost all defenses, but in return making them significantly better once the fight actually breaks out. If a battle is initiated by the defenders of a siege, it will now take place as a siege battle, meaning all those special defenses you build will actually be usable when trying to get people off your city. All defensive emplacements are now usable by the player instead of being automatically firing. To compensate and encourage people to actually get late game siege researches, they've been overhauled across the board. Crafting resources have been split into two different categories: binding essence and binding fragments. You can freely create any tier 1 or tier 2 item out of binding essence, but you will now need binding fragments to create tier 3 and 4 items. You will only be able to get binding fragments off of disenchanting tier 3 and 4 items. This will considerably slow down the rate at which players obtain full tier 4 items and make the item drops that you get around the world map more special again. To make it less painful to craft once you actually do have the resources, all crafting times have been reduced by 1 turn, including tier 1 items being able to be forged instantly. 2 changes have been made to traits to open up diversity. First, Tough only gives 1 defense and resistance against melee attacks, and Resistance gives 1 defense and 1 resistance against magic, spells, or other effects. They are no longer blanket buffs across your race. Now there will be a lot more coming alongside the free patch, but thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe to the channel and continue to play Age of Wonders 4.